In this video, I really want to talk about the setup for a whopper plopper. We are here at the end of really summer, getting into fall, and this is a time of the year where I pick up a whopper plopper and fish it a lot. Now, obviously, a whopper plopper can be very good during the summer. It can be even very good during the spring. But to me, when I get into this portion of the year, I fish this bait an awful lot. But the thing is, there's a lot of other anglers that are fishing a whopper plopper an awful lot. And how you can, and one way you can really separate yourself from other anglers when it comes to this technique is simply landing more fish than them. Because if angler A goes out and gets 10 bites, and angler B goes out and gets 10 bites, and angler A only lands 5 of the fish that he caught, where angler B, lands 9 of those fish, that's gonna make a huge difference in your day as far as obviously how many fish you caught and also probably the average size fish you caught. So in this video, I'm really gonna talk about the rod and reel setup, line and everything, and why I feel like this is the best setup out there on the market. Now, before we get into it, this video is brought to you by Finn Fishing Apparel. And right now for the month of August, less than a week, for every dollar that is spent over at Finn Fishing, you get an entry to win one of 8 different prizes that I'm giving away. So I'm going to be giving away 7 different bait cast rods. I will tell you these exact rods when I actually go to do the drawing at the end of the month. Also, I have a brand new Arc Gravity 2 reel. Also, anyone who purchases something right now in the month of August will get a free mystery lure with their package. And if you buy a USA made sun shirt, the most popular product that I have, you also will get a free Bassmaster net gator. So a lot of free stuff going out the door. Shopping at Finn Fishing is truly the best way to help support this channel, and I greatly appreciate it. All right, let's talk a lot about the whopper plopper. And what I will say first and foremost, when it comes to any technique out there, there's a lot of times where you can get away with using a rod and reel and line setup that isn't what I would consider the perfect setup. The one that's going to yield the best or the highest land to bite ratio. You can get away a lot of times with using something that doesn't work at all. You can get away with it. But the more that you fish certain lures, the more that you realize that there's certain rod and reel and line setups that work really, really well for you and that can help you to land a lot more bass. And to me, the whopper plopper is no different. I fish a whopper plopper on a different setup than I fish a lot of my other topwater baits on, and we'll talk about that here in just a moment, but that's why I also wanted to make a specific video about it. Also, I mentioned a whopper plopper in a video the other day, and I always get people to ask me, what's your setup? What do you like to do? Now, the good thing about this rod is that I actually use it for a number of different techniques. And so let's go ahead and get into the rod, because the rod to me is the most important thing that you should think about when it comes to the whopper plopper. Because when a whopper plopper first came out, the guys who were the best at this technique were all primarily using flipping sticks, like a 7-foot, 6-inch literal flipping stick, fast action rod, a heavy power rod. And the thing about it is that if you think about the whopper plopper, when the bait really first came out, a lot of anglers were catching a lot of fish on the whopper plopper. And the thing was, I even know that some of my best bites that I've ever had, explosive bites that I've had on a whopper plopper, came in that first couple of years. And the thing about it is that bass were not used to the noise. Bass were not used to the vibration. It was something completely different to them. And I really feel like not only did you get more bites back in the day, but the fish that hit it were super aggressive towards the bait. So you could get away with using a flipping stick for a long time. And like I said, even in today's world, you can still get away with that from time to time. I just think that you always want to put the odds in your favor. In the rod, having the right rod has really helped me to put the odds in my favor. I really believe that nowadays I will lose less than 5% of the fish that hit a whopper plopper. I feel like I have a 95% land ratio, which is really good with any topwater bait, but definitely with the whopper plopper, because whopper ploppers tend to be a little bit bigger. You know, like this isn't a huge one. This is the 110 size, but I use a lot of the 110 to 130 size whopper ploppers, and this setup right here has been perfect for that. So let's go ahead and talk specifically about the rod. Now, before I talk about it, I just want you guys to know that these two rods that I'm holding right here are basically the exact same rod. This is my ARC Tharp Series B-Hit Day rod. This is an ARC Essence rod. And as you can see, I said these rods are the exact same. The rod that I like with the Whopper Plopper is my chatterbait rod. As a matter of fact, this is the rod that I have used for a number of years, but I only have 2 of these rods, and I got a couple of these rods, and I found out they're the exact same rod. They are both a composite rod. We're going to talk all about this in just a minute. But these are both 7 foot, 4 inch, a moderate fast action rod. Again, composite, meaning half glass, half graphite. These are medium heavy powers, and they're both rated for a lure weight of 1/8 ounce to 1.5 ounce. And these rods have been by far the best power. Good Lord, I cannot talk. These have been the best Whopper Plopper rods that I have ever used. And the biggest difference between these two setups here is that when I'm using a chatterbait, I like straight 20-pound fluorocarbon. When I'm using a Whopper Plopper, I really like 40-pound braided line. Now, you may not think that there's a huge difference between 30-pound braid and 40-pound braid and 50-pound braid and 60-pound braid, but I will say the more that you use these lines, the little bit more of the thickness of the line itself, it just feels a little bit different. So I've really settled on 40-pound braid as what I like with my Whopper Ploppers. And this rod, the thing about this rod is that it's really kind of like a medium heavy power crankbait rod. Again, it has a very parabolic action. And if you look at a Whopper Plopper in comparison to a crankbait, let's just pull one off the wall here. They're basically a very similar bait. They are both hard plastic. They both have treble hooks. And I'm a firm believer that anytime you are using a hard plastic baits with treble hooks, you want a parabolic bending rod. Like, I am a firm believer in that. And it's not necessarily that you're going to get a better hook set, it's that you're going to lose a lot less fish. So if you look at basically all of my rods that are a hard bait with treble hooks, they are all a very parabolic bending rod, a moderate fast action rod. So basically, a glide bait, Whopper Ploppers, crankbaits, jerk baits, other topwaters, like everything, it's the same style of rod, a very similar action. That is going to help you to lose a lot less fish. Shut up, Siri. That's going to help you lose. I'm having all kinds of issues today. That's really going to help you, though, to lose a lot less fish, is having that parabolic bending rod. Now, when it comes to the reel, as far as gear ratio goes, I've kind of like a high gear ratio reel with my Whopper Ploppers. This is an ARC 8.1-to-1 gear ratio. This is the Gravity 7. Now, again, as you guys know, and if you don't know, you can get any ARC product at 10% off by using the coupon code BFHQ. Click on that link down below in the description, use that coupon code, and you can get 10% off. So good little deal there. I just always want to remind you guys of that. But this ARC Essence rod, I haven't actually talked to ARC about this, but these rods are the exact same. Like, they have to be. I have put them side by side, bent them over, and they are the exact same. That kind of sounded weird. But anyways, you know what I'm saying. These things are the exact same. In this style rod, whether you are using it in the ARC line or a different manufacturer, no matter what it is, Abu Garcia, Daiwa, this is the exact same rod that I like. And the thing that I like about having a composite rod is you really get a true parabolic bend with your rod, which I think really allows you to hook and hold more fish. And the thing about it is that sometimes when I'm using treble hooked baits where I'm twitching them a lot, for example, a topwater walking bait or a jerk bait, those are baits that you're twitching a whole lot. I still like that parabolic action, but I tend to like a straight graphite rod in that situation because it's a lighter rod. So if I'm using that rod all day long and I'm twitching it like this all day long, it's just a little bit easier because graphite tends to be lighter than a composite rod. But because of Whopper Plopper, I am always locking this thing pretty much right here and just reeling it. blah, 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 blah. Every now and then I'm gonna kill it. We can talk more about whopper plopper tips in the future, but that rod is the reason that I feel like my hookup ratio has gone up and that I land a lot more fish. So that's pretty much it. The one last thing I will talk about when it comes to setup is the hooks. The hooks that come on a whopper plopper, I don't have any lying around. They are the River to Sea hooks, and they are a thick gauged wire hook. That is fine as long as you get the hook, as long as you set the hook and get that hook past the barb. As a matter of fact, if you have a really thick hook and it gets past the barb, it typically holds them better than any other hook out there. If you have a little bit weaker of a hook set and you can't get that thing past the barb, I suggest just simply going to a little bit lighter wire hooks. I'm not saying going to a light wire hook, I'm saying going to a lighter than like a XXX hook, like the River to Sea ones that come on there. These are a Berkeley Fusion. I believe they are they look like a number 1. Yeah, I'd say a number 1, maybe a number 2. That I put on a 110 size. They are a really good hook that I've used a lot. I've also used the Gamakatsu just round bend hooks. I really like the round bend hooks over the EWG style hooks on my whopper ploppers as well. So guys, that's the whopper plopper setup. I think that I included everything. If you have any questions, please let me know down below in the comments. Also, don't forget to check out that fin fishing gear, and I will see you guys in the next one.